Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So the topic of today's reading it's actually the winner of a poll that I did on my channel a while ago. I had said this was going to be the last video of 2019, but that didn't end up happening, so it's going to be the first video of 2020 instead. And this reading is all about your next relationship. So we're gonna find out what kind of person your next partner is, what the relationship is gonna be like, how they're gonna treat you, how you'll meet, and maybe even the timing of when you guys meet. And I have 4 different cards. Well, they're all the Ace of Cups, but they come from different tarot decks. And so there's 4 different readings in this video, and I will be using like each tarot deck respectively. Yeah, so for reading number 1, I'm going to use the Rider-Waite deck. For reading number 2, I'm going to use the Crystal Power Tarot deck. For reading number 3, I'm going to use Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. And for reading number 4, I'm going to use the Starman Tarot deck. So just take a moment. You can pick whichever one is the most visually pleasing to you, or just whichever one you feel drawn to. Take all the time you need. You can pause the video if you want. And I'm going to go ahead now and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you chose this Ace of Cups, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck to do your reading. So I have 12 tarot cards here, and each one is going to represent different aspects of the relationship. So the first thing I want to look at is your first impression of this person. So how are you going to perceive them when you first meet them? So we have the 7 of Pentacles. So I think that your first impression of this person is going to be that they're very hardworking and they're very perseverant. Like, this is somebody who knows what they want and they won't stop at anything to get it. And I also feel like an independent kind of energy from them. So if they want something, like, they just do it. They don't wait for the perfect time. They don't wait for somebody to help them. They just go for it, and they really see it through, you know? Like this person tending to his plants, you have to give it water and sun, and you have to check up on it every now and then. You have to trim the, you know, the little scraggly things. Like, they really take care in everything that they do. So like, to put it, like, basically they have their shit together. That's how you're gonna see this person. Like, it seems like they really have everything going for them, and that they really, you know, put in the time and effort to make things work in their life. And also, like, with this, to keep with like the analogy of the plants, I'm thinking of like how plants will just continue to grow even if you cut them. Even if there's something in the way, they'll just grow around it. And so it's like this person can't be stopped. Like, they have a really strong will, and they will see things through to the end. So I think that that's something that you really admire about them. And I'm almost feeling like maybe you might already know this person, because this is kind of things that, like, you what's it called? You observe over time, you know? Like, you don't really meet someone immediately and know this about them. So I wonder if you kind of like already have your eye on them, like you're already admiring them. And also another meaning of this could be that you really see a potential with them. Like, you meet them, or you have met them, and you're like, okay, this is a relationship that I want to invest in. This is something that seems promising, that seems like it would have good, like, long-term results. Basically, like, it's worth your time, you know? Like, this person isn't going to waste your time. Yeah, okay, so now let's see on the other end how they see you, what their first impression is of you. So we have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so I think that when you're first meeting and talking to this person, they're gonna get the feeling that you're kind of holding back from them. So maybe you're just a little bit quiet, or a little bit distant, or you don't share as much as they would like to. Like, this is somebody who, you know, they like you, obviously, so they want your attention, and they want to know about you, and they want to know, like, deep things about you. They want to get to the heart of it. They might be Scorpio or Scorpio Venus, something like that. They want to, this is the type of person, like if they're in a relationship with someone, they want to get really close. And, you know, maybe they could be a little bit intense about it, but in any case, they feel this type of like mystery from you. Like there's parts of you that they can't see and they want to see them. Like I'm looking at this person who's blindfolded and also tied up. This is about holding yourself back. So maybe they feel like you have some inhibitions. Like they want to see you let loose more. And maybe you are that type of person, like, you know, you have fun and you share a lot, but just when you're around them, you kind of clam up, you kind of tense up and get shy, and that's why they're seeing you like this. I don't think this is actually what you're like all the time, but maybe just around them because you like them. Anyway, so let's see how that changes over time now. So now we're going to see how you see them, like after you've been dating or getting to know each other for some time. Ooh, so there's the Queen of Wands. Ooh, so this is kind of cute because when you first meet them, you see them as this like practical, hardworking person. And then when you get to know them better, it's like you get to see their fun side, you know? Like this person, I'm getting like they're super funny. They love to have a good time. They might be kind of loud. I think there might be like a gap when you first meet them that they seem very like graceful and composed. And then when they get more comfortable around you, they're super like silly and funny, and they have a really like vivid imagination. And I mean, that's like an ingredient of being funny, I think. Like you can imagine all these different scenarios. They're likely very creative and talented. So I think you're going to come to admire them a lot. And this also talks about, you know, someone who is very like physically attractive and even sexual. So you might get to see that side of them as you get to know them. I think that you're going to be very, very attracted to this person. Like you can't keep your hands off them. There's definitely going to be like a honeymoon phase in this relationship. So, and they're just going to be like the light of your life. Like, look at this queen. She's so happy and vibrant and yellow. Like, they're just going to cheer you up so much. Like, you can't help but be happy when you're in this person's presence. And I think you're going to feel so lucky to have them. So the other way around, how are they going to see you after you've been dating for some time? Aw, you guys, it's the Two of Cups. Yeah, so after some time, once they can get past this surface and you feel more comfortable with them and they really start to get to know you, I think that they're going to be like, holy shit, this is my person. Like, this is the one. There is no doubt about it. They might have had a little inkling when they first met you, and that's why, like, they wanted to get to know you so deeply. But, you know, over the course of getting to know each other, I think you're going to find some really weird similarities between the two of you that's like uncanny. Like, I don't know. Everybody has their weird quirks that they do when no one's looking, or like some weird habit or some like strange belief. And I think you're gonna have like the same mannerisms, or maybe like your upbringing was really similar. I don't know, maybe you like this really obscure artist that nobody's heard of, and then they're like, oh my god, I like them too. What? Like, I've never met somebody who knows them. Like little things like that. Little, I don't know if synchronicities is the right word. I guess, yeah, similarities. And they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is my person. And they're not gonna let you go. So this is actually likely to be something that's quite long term. I know that's kind of a broad word, whatever that means for you, you know, that could mean like forever, that could mean that you date for like a year if that's a long time for you, but it's going to be a long-term thing, I think. Okay, so now I want to look at how your friends see them, or even how your family sees them if they're meeting your family. Okay, so we have the Emperor. This is interesting. So your next partner is coming through, like, I'll put it here. They're coming through in like a very strong energy to your friends. They probably see this person as very independent. Like I said, that's going to be your first impression of them too. Like, they just want something, they get it done. Like, they can really take care of themselves. yeah, they seem very strong and powerful. Kind of like the dominant one in the relationship. They're gonna feel like that they're the dominant one. And they might even be like, this guy looks kind of intimidating, you know? I don't think that they're intimidating because we can see like they're very, you know, silly and funny on the inside. But maybe they have like a resting bitch face or something. Or maybe they're just like very sure of themselves. And, you know, that can intimidate some people. I don't know. There's like something about them. But in any case, they will recognize that your partner can take good care of you, because the emperor is like the father and he creates stability for his loved ones. So I think that they will see that this person brings a sense of security to you, that they protect you, that they would defend you if like you ever needed that, they would fight for you. So, and this is Aries energy, so maybe your new partner is in Aries. Either way, it's like Mars energy. They're kind of coming through as like a masculine. They don't have to be a man, by the way. It can be a woman, but I feel like they have like that stronger personality. And they might be someone like, you know, their warm, sunny side kind of comes out a bit later. And in the beginning, they're a bit more reserved too. So that could be misconstrued as like, oh, like she doesn't like me or he doesn't like me. So maybe that's kind of how your friends think, like, does your boyfriend or girlfriend like me? I can't tell, you know? But I think they're shy, and I don't know why I keep thinking resting bitch face, but anyway. Okay, so this is how, wait, I'm getting confused now. This is how their friends and family are going to see you. So it's the King of Cups. So I am confident in saying that all of their friends love you, and if you meet their family loves you too. This is such a beautiful card. Like, they think that you are such a good match for your partner, that you're so sweet to them, that you're so considerate, you're so thoughtful, and you're very nurturing to them. Like, I think you're both like quite protective of each other, but without being possessive, you know? Like, you just want to take care of each other. You just want to make sure the other person is okay. And like, you're coming through as the more like soft one, and they're coming through as the more strong one. And especially like if you do meet their family, it's like I'm getting the feeling like your next partner, they're like the family's like little baby, you know? And so, you know, their little baby is going out into the world and working and chasing their dreams and being independent, and they just want to make sure that somebody's taking care of their baby. So I think they're going to be very appreciative of you because, like, you know, as the parents of your new partner, it's like they worry about their kid, and so it's like they're in good hands with you. And if you meet them and you show, you know, if you show your gratitude and maybe like bring them a little present, like they will just fall in love with you. So I think, yeah, they see you in a super good light. This is really nice. Okay, so now let's see if we can find out how and maybe when you guys are meeting. So we have the Hierophant. So this to me looks like somebody introducing you because we have like the two people down here and the Hierophant up here. By the meaning of this card, this could be like a work situation or a school situation, because the Hierophant does talk about like work, education, rules. It could also be kind of an environment. Maybe the reason they see you like this is because it's more of a serious environment, because the Hierophant does have a sort of serious energy to it. So maybe you meet somewhere where the tone is kind of, it's not super playful. Maybe there's a lot of formality and you kind of have to be like, hello, how do you do? Pleased to meet you. But you're both like super nervous on the inside. And as for the timing, the Hierophant represents Taurus season. That's April or May. And we also have the number 5 here, which could be the month of May. So it could be April or May, or it could also be like 5 months from whenever you're watching this because of the number 5. Okay, so next we're going to look at how they treat you. Aw, Ace of Wands. This person, your partner, like, they're never gonna get bored of you. Like, they're gonna treat every day like the first day that they got together with you and just be like, I'm so excited to be with you. I'm so excited to have you. And like, I was talking about this like honeymoon phase when you guys like get to know each other better. And I have a feeling that that's like never gonna go away. Like, they will never get bored of you. And like, you know how some people, like, when they talk about committed relationships, they're like, I can't believe, like, I can't imagine being with one person for the rest of my life, or like, I can't imagine sleeping with one person for the rest of my life. Not this person. They're super excited about it all the time. Like, they just, like, they can't get enough of you. Like, they never lose that passion. It never loses that like fresh new feeling. Like, they're always just like so up for it. Like, this person really cannot, they cannot stop. They can't get enough of you. It's so sweet. Anyway, yeah, so they'll treat you with a lot of passion, and they'll probably, you know, they'll always be looking for like the next fun adventure with you. And just, they'll keep it exciting, you know, they'll keep you on your toes too. Like, they'll make sure you don't get bored either. You know, like, let's go here, or let's try this new thing. They wanna keep it exciting for you, and it's like they want you to like not regret it, you know, like, come be in a relationship with me, you won't regret it. They're gonna like give you a good time. So that's really sweet. Okay, now moving on, let's see, what is the thing that you are going to like the most about this person? So we have the 9 of Wands. So yeah, this person is definitely a fighter. Like, we even saw from your first impression, like, you know this right away. Like, when this person wants something, they go for it. And I think you really like that about them. They don't hesitate, you know? So this person likely has a very strong like intuition too. Whether or not they're spiritual or recognize that, I think they do have really good, like, you know, they're in tune with their gut feelings. Like, I know that this is what I need to do, this is where I need to be, and they just go for it. This also has a protective energy, same as the Emperor. This is, you know, your values, your beliefs, your loved ones, your partner like protects them. So they're willing to like speak up, they're willing to stand up for something they believe in, whether that's like defending their beliefs, defending their values, or defending a person that they love. Like, they will step up and do it. I'm like feeling strong Aries or Scorpio for this person, because they're quite like, it's a lot of Mars going on. But yeah, they're strong, and I think that that makes you feel safe, and like, you know that they would always stand up for you, you know, like, they would always give you the benefit of the doubt and like defend you in a time of conflict, if that makes sense. Like, if you were in beef with someone, they would always be on your side. Like, they would always come and fight for you. So it's loyal, it's devoted, and it's like, they're tough, you know, they're tough. Okay, so now let's see what you would like them to work on. That's so funny. It's like, the thing that you like most about them is their strength, and then the thing that you want them to work on is their strength. So I'm wondering if this person doesn't really allow for themselves to be weak sometimes. Like, you know, they want to be this like brave, fierce lion all the time, and you know, sometimes they need to get a little snuggle, and they need to be a little bit like tame. And maybe this is someone who, they don't like reach out for help when they're feeling weak. Like, they just always want to be strong. They're like, they don't want to be a victim, right? They want to do everything for themselves. And so I think that you'll wish that, you know, sometimes they just took off their armor and, you know, like cried in front of you or something, or just, you know, you want to see more of their like soft side. And I don't think it's like necessarily something that you don't like about them, but maybe more that just makes you a little bit concerned for them, you know? Everybody needs to be like the little spoon sometimes. Everybody needs to show their weakness sometimes. So I think you kind of want to nurture them and calm them down a little bit. Like they don't have to always be on guard like this. So finally, let's look at it the other way around and let's see what they like the most about you. Ooh, it's the King of Pentacles. So I think that you make this person feel very safe and secure. They feel supported by you and they feel like a warmth from you. And I know that the Pentacles is usually about like material things and money and stuff like that, but I'm rather feeling like you make them feel safe, like emotionally. So maybe you are the person that they feel like they can let go of this in front of. I do think with this type of personality that we have observed of this person, they might be, you know, very self-critical or like prone to anxiety or being overly like perfectionist, like just kind of like hard on themselves in that way. And they feel like you're a really, you know, solid, like comfortable place for them where they can let go of all of that and be taken care of. Like they're always taking care of other people, and it's like when they're with you, you take care of them back. And I think that that's kind of like an unfamiliar feeling to them, like sort of being, I don't know, like being, why am I thinking of the word coddled? That's so weird. But they kind of want to like be a baby, you know? I guess they want to be like soft and weak in front of you. So if anybody, they can do that in front of you. You make them feel very safe and secure. Okay, so finally, the thing that they would like you to work on. And we have the Fool. So this is actually so cute because look, it has the number 0 on it. So it's like if someone asked them what they don't like about you, they'd be like, nothing, I like everything. But with the Fool, I think it's just kind of a small thing. My first thought with this is like maybe there's some areas that you're like a little bit careless with, and I don't think it's anything big because we've already seen that you are so thoughtful and caring and nurturing to this person. So it's not like you're gonna like blow them off or like forget their birthday or something big like that, but maybe just like the little things every day, especially because we saw this person can be very like, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of on edge sometimes. Maybe they're a bit of a perfectionist, and you might be a little bit more like relaxed and easygoing. So like, for example, you're supposed to meet at 6 and it's like 6:15 and you're like, oh yeah, I just left my house, I'm on my way. And they're like, but dude, like we said 6. Like they're very like on point like that. And I feel like maybe you're just a little bit more like, I don't know, like you just do it at your own pace. Or it could be something like you always forget to do stuff. Like for example, if you're living together and they ask you to like pick up something on the way home, or they ask you to do something in the house and you just always forget, and they're like, did I not tell you? It's nothing big like that. Or it could even be like you just zone out a lot when they're like trying to tell you something and you're like dun, 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 like thinking about something. They're like, are you paying attention? Just little like things slip your mind, like this dude's about to walk off a cliff and he doesn't even notice. So like it's that kind of stuff. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, like they find it endearing and they might even find it like a little bit funny and cute. So it's nothing to worry about. Like you're very thoughtful in the ways that matter, and I can see like that they love you a lot and that they're really passionate about you, and they're like so excited to be with you. Like it's insane. So anyway, this is definitely like, I see a lot of mutual like nurturing, mutual protecting each other, mutual caring for each other, and that, you know, you can really be like your true self around this person. So I think that it's very nice, and I'm excited for you guys. So that was the reading for pile number 1. If you're interested in a personal reading for more information specific to your situation, please check the link in the description where you'll see all my availability, pricing, how the readings work. And yeah, thank you very much for letting me read for you. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye! Hi, number twos. So if you chose this Ace of Cups, I'm going to be using the Crystal Power Tarot deck to do your reading. So I have 12 tarot cards here, and each of them are going to represent different aspects of your relationship. And I just wanted to say something before I started, because I had already started filming this one. I hadn't like taken the cards yet, but I was doing the little hi, number twos, and then the doorbell rang and somebody delivered flowers to my house randomly, unexpectedly. I do not know who they are from, but I like to share these things with you guys, just in case it's relevant to you, or you could take it as a sign, especially because I'm doing a reading about your next partner. They may be the very romantic type who likes to bring you flowers and surprise you with unexpected gifts, even when it's not a celebration. Yeah, could be. Anyway, let's look at the cards and see what they say. So the first one that we're going to look at is your first impression of this person. So we have the Six of Wands. So what's kind of interesting about this card is it can indicate people from your past coming back. So this could be like, for some of you, it might be getting back with an ex. I don't think that's like super exciting to most people. Or it could just be like somebody that maybe you had your eye on them at one point, or you've had your eye on them for a really long time, and then you kind of like gave up or forgot about them, and then something is like stirring up your feelings for them again. It could even be somebody from a past life, you know, like a soulmate coming back for another lifetime with you, something like that. But with the Six of Wands cards and this saying, I am proud of what I achieve and accept my rewards, I think that your first impression of this person is that they're super cool, they're super successful, they're super popular. For some of you, this person might even have like a following of some kind, you know, like maybe they just have a lot of social media followers, or maybe they're like, you know, kind of a big deal. I don't know, maybe they're an artist, they do something like that and they have fans, but there's a feeling of them being very successful and popular. So I think you look up to them a lot, and maybe even might feel sometimes like they're out of your league, like they're just so cool, you know? So I think this is definitely going to be a very big crush when you first meet them, or if you already know who this is, then you already have a big crush on them. So for their first impression of you, we have the Fool, and this says, I am guided and protected on my life journey, and we have all of the stones here representing all of the chakras. So I'm not sure like if this person is spiritual or not, but I think that they do perceive you in that way. Like you're very in tune, you're very aligned, and I think they also see you as like a free spirit, you know, like somebody who just, you know, is carefree or playful, or just does whatever they feel in the moment and is really living in the present. I'm really sorry if you can hear that dog barking. I don't even know whose dog that is. And yeah, like I think that they, you know, they admire about you, like you have this sort of like free spirited or freedom about you that they really like. You have this like twinkle in your eye, whatever that means. Like you just shine, like they feel like you're brilliant and you shine, and they love, like, at least this is how you appear to them, like in their first impression, yet you appear like cheerful and upbeat and you have this uplifting energy. So I think that this person likes to be around you. And I do think for a lot of you, like you at least already know of each other, because I just got this feeling like maybe they watch you, not in a creepy way, but like they like look at your social media, or they see you living your life with your friends and they just think like, wow, that looks so much fun. I wish I could have fun like that. So it's like this mutual kind of like admiration and even kind of envy, because you might envy that like they appear to be super cool and successful and popular, and then they envy your like free spirit and stuff. So it feels very crushy, you know, like you have crushes on each other. Okay, so now let's look how you're going to see this person once you get to know them and start dating them. Ooh, it's the Chariot. So I think that like your crush is actually going to turn into like a deep respect, because I do think it is a successful individual. Whatever that means to you, like maybe they really know what they want out of life. or they've, you know, reached a peak in their career, or they've reached like popularity. Like I said, I feel like some of them might have like a little bit, I don't want to say fame, but like a following or recognition or something. And as you get to know them, you get to hear the story of like how they got to where they are today, and you're gonna realize like, wow, they went through shit to get to where they are today. They overcame a lot of obstacles, and it took a lot of hope, and it took a lot of faith in their vision, and they deserve every bit of success that they have. So the Chariot, like it says, I go forward with confidence. You know, it's about moving forward no matter what, and overcoming obstacles, you know, for better or for worse, with like this duality, like the black and white horse. Like this person had a dream, or they have a dream, and they really, really believe in it. So you're gonna come to respect them a lot for like how much, like they never lost hope. You know, they always believed in themselves. Okay, so how are they going to see you after they get to know you? The Eight of Pentacles. Cool. This actually came out in the last reading too, but it was for the first impression. Anyway, so this is kind of cool because when they are first, you know, watching you, or they first meet you, they're going to see this sort of like free spirit type, and then once they get to know you, they're gonna see like your more practical side. So they'll see that, you know, you do have this, you know, spiritual, go with the flow kind of personality, but at the same time you're grounded, you know, like you do the work that needs to be done to keep yourself in that happy mindset, to keep yourself, you know. I think to become a free spirit like that, it's somebody also, much like this person, who has been through things, you know, and has had to put in the work to heal themselves and to find that path that is like in their best alignment. So I think once they get to know you, they're gonna see like that dedicated, devoted, industrious, that kind of side of you. So there's a good balance with you, you know? Like you're not just like floating around all willy-nilly. You do have roots, and you do have like a base, I guess. Like you're grounded, you know? Okay, so now let's look at, I want to see how your friends and maybe your family, if you get to that point, are going to see your partner. The Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, your friends are going to be so happy when you end up with this person. And that's kind of another sign to me that you probably already have your eye on them, because this, it says like, I trust whatever the universe brings me. This is like a positive outcome. And it's also like destiny. So I think your friends are going to be so excited. Like, oh my God, it finally happened. Like you finally ended up with this person. The stars are aligned. Like it was time. And yeah, just like really excited, and they're gonna think like you're such a good match, like a match made in heaven. And it kind of feels like a celebration, you know, like maybe you've been waiting for a chance with this person, or you've been waiting for them to make a move, or that's what will happen after you meet them. Like you're just gonna become like head over heels for this person, and all your friends are gonna be like rooting for you, like that's your man, or like that's your girl over there. And then when you finally get together, it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, it really, like you're really dating this person now. Like, do you realize that you are really dating them? Like, what the heck, life is so weird. Anyway, it's gonna be something like that. Like it's really gonna feel like destiny, and they're gonna be super excited. I'm kind of feeling that more for your friends than your family. Unless you talk about this person to your family, then they might be super pumped for you too, but I'm seeing it as more of like your friends. Okay, and then let's see how their friends or maybe family see you. The Eight of Swords. Interesting. This one says, I release myself from self-inflicted binds. So I think we've already seen that you have this like spiritual and free-spirited nature to you. I wonder, maybe once you start like dating this person, their friends will notice, or their family will notice, that they've like come out of their shell a bit more. Almost like they've had an awakening of sorts since meeting you or since being with you. Because this is talking about, you know, releasing your limitations. So I don't know necessarily that this person has limitations, because we see that they can overcome anything. But, you know, I think that they have reached like a comfortable point in their life with like what they want to do with their success. And maybe like things have just become like a little stagnant for them. Like they're not really trying anything new. Maybe they're, you know, their views have become a little narrow. And it's kind of like you're coming in and like shaking things up for them. So you show them like new perspectives, you crack open their mind. Maybe this person is like not spiritual at all, and you show them like that side of things, and it brings them like a whole new perspective and understanding of their journey. Something like you're sort of opening their eyes to something, I think. And their friends and maybe family too are going to notice that, like they seem a lot more like joyful, I guess, a lot more like awake, you know, like they were sleeping and now they're awake, something like that. So it's like happy things all around. This is such a happy deck anyway, like with all the rainbow colors. Okay, so next we are going to look at how and maybe when you guys are meeting. So we have the 10 of Wands. So the 10 represents oh my gosh, springtime. There we go. So you could be meeting this person in the springtime. With the number 10, I'm thinking like, you know, 10 weeks, which if you're watching this when I release it in January, then 10 weeks from now would be like getting to springtime. It could also be 10 months, because this is general. I don't think like everyone's gonna meet their person at the same time. But as for the meaning of this card, you know, this card is about like being tired and working really hard. So maybe you are like coming together with this person in a work situation, at their work or at your work, or just at a time in your life where one or both of you is like super tired. Maybe it's like, I don't know, exam season or something. Or you've just been dealing with a lot in your life. Or if it is a work situation, maybe it's like they just finished work and they're just super tired from that. But it's kind of that kind of thing. I feel like you're going to be flustered when you meet them because of, you know, the wands and the 10 of wands. Like, feels like you're kind of like exasperated. Or maybe it's just because like you've been waiting so long to like be with them and that's why you're tired. I'm not sure. Okay, so now let's see how this person treats you. Ta-da! It's the 10 of Pentacles. That is so sweet. This person is going to spoil you. This card to me is confirmation that the flowers which were delivered to my home prior to the reading are very likely a sign for you. I do think that with this person's success, money has followed, and they are happily going to spend that on you. They're gonna treasure you so much. Even if they don't have money, this doesn't have to be, I know it's pentacles and it's coins, but they could spoil you with affection. They could spoil you with, you know, experiences, like, you know, taking you somewhere you've always wanted to go, taking you on exciting dates. Like, I do think that this is somebody who's going to be like attentive to your needs and your way of doing things. So they're going to spoil you like in accordance with your love language, you know, if that makes sense. So like, for example, I like to be complimented. So if that's your thing, they're going to just like spoil you with compliments. But I do see for a lot of you guys that there's going to be something with like, you know, wealth and a lavish sort of thing involved. Like they like to bring you gifts, and with this it really makes me feel like you're their treasure. Like, you are my treasure, you are my treasure, you know. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, and the other meaning the other meaning of this card is like, you know, family and commitment. So I think that they're gonna treat you like they're gonna be loyal to you, and they're gonna show you that they're committed to you and that they're not like messing around. They're very serious about this, because this is like, you know, I'm not saying like you're gonna get married, but or maybe you will, but it means that they're gonna be serious about the relationship. They don't want anybody else. You're not an option to them. Like, you may think that because they seem to have so many people who are like, who love them. They seem to be very popular, but they're gonna make sure that you know, like, you're not just an option to me, or you're not just a fling to me. Like, I really like care about you, and I want to take care of you. And they'll treat you like, I guess, with the same like loyalty as family does. And for some of you, it could be that you have a family together, but I don't want to say that for everybody, of course, because it's general and many different age groups are watching this, but you get the point. They're going to spoil you and they're going to be very devoted. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? And serious, like they take the relationship seriously. All right. Now I want to move on and see, what are you going to like most about this person? We have the Magician. That's so nice. So it says, I manifest perfectly what I desire. I think that you really, really admire this person's ability to make their dreams a reality. Like, if they have some vision in their head, they want to make it tangible. I am getting, like, I guess, earthy energy for this person, like a Taurus or Capricorn or something like that, because of their determination, you know. It could also be like, I don't know, Cancers are pretty determined and they really like value family and relationships and things like that. So it could be something like that too, but they are good at like materializing things. I think you coming through as the Fool, you have like, I actually love these two cards together because it's like 0 and 1, like nothing to something. It's like you have that inspiration, you have that spark, you have that idea, and then they make it real. And so I actually see a really nice like dynamic between the two of you, where it's like, you know, you're sharing like your wildest dreams with them and they're like, let's make it happen. And you're like, what? Like, because it's just a dream for you, it's just an idea, but they have the motivation and the willpower to be like, if you're dreaming about that, why don't we make that a possibility? Like, let's do it, let's manifest it. So this is really, really nice, two cards together. And I think that's what you love the most about them. It's like they make your dreams come true because they don't give up. They're like, if you want it, why don't we do it? Anyway, so now let's look at what you would like them to work on. So there's the 5 of Cups, and it says, I will move forward when the time is right. So I have a feeling that this person might be the type to dwell on the past a little bit. Specifically, past hurts or past heartbreaks, and even more specifically, like their mistakes in those situations. And you know, of course, like you'd want them to work on that for their own peace of mind and their own happiness, because of course, like you don't want to see like your loved one stressing out over their past mistakes. You want them to forgive themselves, right? But I can even see this as being like a bit of an issue for you. Like it kind of could hurt you, because let's say, for example, in their last relationship, it ended really badly. Like their ex, they were fighting a lot with their ex, like it went sour, or like their ex cheated on them or something like that. And then they keep thinking about it, like thinking about what went wrong. You know, to them, it's like, how it was my fault, like how can I fix this? I don't want to make the same mistakes again. It was all my fault, like I ruined the relationship. And then on your end, it's like, why are you still thinking about your ex though? Like, you're with me now. So I might, I think it's easy to take that kind of thing personally. It's like, why are you so hung up on that? And it's not because they want to get back with their ex, it's just because they're critiquing their past actions and like getting down on themselves, like, oh, I can't believe I hurt that person, or like it was all my fault. So they can kind of like get down on themselves like that. So maybe, I was thinking Cancer before. Oh, we also have the Chariot, which is like Cancer energy. So this person might have like a Cancer Venus or Moon, or like there's a moody side to them. There's a moody side to them, and there's like a melancholy side to them. And you just have to kind of like, kick their butt out of that mood, you know, because it's just a mood, and you know, they can do amazing things. They're very strong, and you know, they're very hopeful in general, but they can get like caught up in their head about like hurts from the past and getting down on themselves and stuff. Yeah, okay, so finally, let's see the other way around. What do they like the most about you? And we have the Seven of Cups. I trust myself to see the truth. So I think that they love like your perspectives on most things. Like I think you offer like a really fresh perspective to them about a lot of stuff, and they love like, you know, we saw that they appreciate that you're grounded, but I think they also love like your vivid imagination and your creativity and like your fantasies, you know, and they would love to just like listen to you talk about what's on your mind like for hours, and they want to try to like make your dream world a reality or make your fantasies a reality. And there's something like ethereal about you, I guess, like dreamy, ethereal, like when they listen to you talk or when they spend time with you, it's like they just like lose track of everything and it feels like they're floating on a cloud. Or yeah, like you're very dreamy. They really like that. And you make them dream too. Like you make them dream bigger. Like yeah, it's very nice to be around. I keep thinking of the word ethereal, and I mean we have like the aquamarine crystal here, which is about, you know, releasing resistance and going with the flow, which we saw here. This has aquamarine 2 on it. We saw that maybe sometimes they have trouble with that, and so I think you teach them to be more free and more, you know, carefree, more forgiving of yourself, and just like going with the flow of life. So it's also very soothing for them. Okay, and then finally, what they would like you to work on is the 9 of Wands. I am strong for as long as I need to be strong. This is interesting because it's like kind of the same message that came out in pile 1. That maybe you put on a strong face when you don't have to. This is like the exact same message as the first pile. I don't know if some of you watched that one too. But you know, you want to be optimistic and you want to take care of people. You don't want to like, you know, be sad in front of people and bring them down. And I think they're kind of wishing that you could be more vulnerable sometimes, or you don't always have to be strong. You don't always have to fight. I'm like, do you remember that meme that was like, he makes stacks so she can relax? I think that's how this person feels. So they're like, you know, I've done all this work, I've overcame all these difficulties. Like, you don't have to work so hard. I got this. Like, you can relax now. They just want you to put your feet up. So it's not really something that they don't like about you, but just like they wish that you would change. Like if they could have it their way, they want you to just take it easy and keep like dreaming your dreams, because it's so beautiful, and like they love that like artistic and creative and free flowing side of you, that they want you to be like in that relaxed place all the time, because it also relaxes them. It's a very good dynamic that you guys have, and you guys can create like some really cool things. I think you both have that like creative side to you, and you're also both like go-getters, I think. So this is really, the rainbow deck was a good one for this one. Wonderful. Okay, so that's the end of reading number 2. If you're interested in a personal reading for more information specific to your situation, please check the link in the description so you can see my availability and pricing and all the different types of readings available. And thank you very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye! Hi, number 3s. So if you chose this Ace of Cups, I'm going to be using the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck to do your reading. So I have nails, oh my gosh. So I have 12 tarot cards here, and each of them is going to describe different aspects of your relationship with your next partner. So the first card is going to be your first impression of them. So how you see them when you first meet them. And we have the Three of Cups. This is a very lovely, playful energy. So I think maybe you're going to meet this person at a party, at some kind of gathering with friends, and you're going to see them having a really good time. I think your first impression of them is that they're very charming, they're very funny, they're very friendly, personable, social. I know that Cups is a water sign, but from this energy, I'm feeling more like Leo, Libra, Gemini, like this kind of bubbly and, very friendly, playful kind of person. So I think that your first impression of them is very nice. Like you want to spend more time with them. They're like the life of the party. So on the other side, let's see what their first impression is of you. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. So they definitely see you as the more stable type, maybe the more serious type. This could also mean like, like I don't want to say like they picture a life with you, because obviously this is a first impression, but maybe like after they meet you for the first time, they like, kind of fantasize about it sometimes, like what would it be like to be in a relationship with them, or maybe they have a dream where they're married to you or something. But I feel like you're really gonna like stick in their mind after they meet you, and they're gonna feel very comfortable and secure with you. Like I don't know, like if you've ever met somebody and you feel really comfortable opening up to them, even about things that you normally wouldn't. Like they just give off a very stable kind of vibe, like you can trust this person. I think that's how they're going to feel about you when they first meet you. So moving on, let's see how you're going to view this person after you've gotten to know them and you've been dating them. Temperance. Ooh, so this is actually a card of divine counterparts, which is super cool. So I think like when you first meet them, you're either not going to have those kind of feelings for them, or you're thinking that it might just be something casual, like a little fling, just like something for fun. But then when you get to know them more, you're gonna see like more and more substance to them, and you're gonna start feeling like, oh wow, like this could actually be somebody that I end up with. So you'll start to, I guess this is not like your impression of them after you're dating them, because obviously you think that you could date someone if you're already dating them. So I'll say like, this is your impression of them after you've gotten to know them. So I think like, maybe you first meet them in this kind of like fun party atmosphere, and then after that you see each other in a more like, I guess, relaxed environment, or maybe you see each other one-on-one, you get to know them on a deeper level, and you see, what they're really all about, and you see like, their substance. And you start to gain like, I have a lot of energy in my body right now. You start to gain like a deeper respect for them. You might even like meet them again under interesting circumstances, like you run into them somewhere, because this is also a card of, like I said, divine counterparts and divine intervention. So you might like run into them again like in a very unexpected way that makes you take notice, like, oh shit, maybe this person is supposed to be here. So the relationship is going to deepen. Okay, now let's see how they are going to see you after they've gotten to know you. The Four of Wands. So you're both getting this feeling after you get to know each other, like, oh shit, I think that this might be like my person, because these are both actually like, they can be twin flame cards. This Four of Wands has the 1111, and it talks about marriages. So, and we even had the Ten of Pentacles that talks about like having a family, having a home. So I can't say for all of you that you're suddenly going to start envisioning this, especially if you are part of the younger crowd, but I do think that you are going to feel like very intensely like, this person was meant to be in my life. This is really weird. And I was saying like they're gonna find like, oh wait, which one is it? Oh, both of you, sorry. You're both the same. You're gonna find that you come back together under strange circumstances, and you might even see like weird synchronicities in your life, like you hear their name, or you like see their birthday, or just weird things like that, or you hear a song like that was playing when you saw them last, like weird little things that like lead you back to them. So I think like as time goes by, you're both going to have this like realization, like, oh, this is probably meant to be something pretty major in my life. Okay, so moving on, let's see how your friends are going to see this person, and maybe even your family if you get to that point. Ooh, it's the 10 of Cups. Wow, you guys are on fire so far. So yeah, your friends and maybe even your family are really going to love this person for you, and are probably also going to be like envisioning a future. They might say things like, I've never seen you so happy before, or like I've never seen you with such a perfect match, because this is like the 10 of Cups is like total happiness, total fulfillment. Like there's a rainbow in the background, they have their baby. You might have the potential to create something together other than a baby, if like that's not on your radar at all. You could be like creating something together, but I think the general message of this is that the people in your life, like the people you're close with, are gonna recognize how happy this person makes you, and it's gonna be very like remarkable to them, like how well you fit together. So now let's see how their friends and family see you. We have the Four of Swords. So I think that they're gonna this is okay, this is kind of hard to say because I don't want it to be like a bad thing. They might wish that they like got to see more of you, because this Four of Swords is kind of like an inactive energy, so maybe you're not really a part of their friend's life that much, and they think you're super cool and they want to hang out with you, but you don't really hang out with them. Maybe you're super introverted or something like that, and it's like your friends get to see a lot of your partner, but their friends don't get to see a lot of you. Does that make sense? It's like you're not super involved in their stuff, and I think they really want to be. Um, I don't know if you have like that big of a part in their circle, in their stuff. Because usually like the artwork of this is like a sleeping person. So it's like nothing's happening, or like you're keeping your distance. I don't know if that could just be because you're introverted, like I said, or maybe you're just like really busy. I don't know. In some cases, maybe you don't like them that much. I don't really know. They like you. But anyway, so moving on, let's see how you guys are going to meet. Ooh. So we have the King of Cups. I've also been looking at timing, I should mention. So the Cups represents summer seasons. And we see he looks like he's relaxing, having a drink. So I think that you guys are either going to meet in the summertime or at a time of your life that is a little bit less hectic. Like maybe it's like summer vacation, or like you're taking one or both of you is taking some time off from work, or like there's no school and it's just going to be a more relaxed atmosphere. Maybe like you're super busy right now, or they're super busy right now, and it's not really good circumstances to be starting a new relationship. So I almost wonder if like this is showing when you can get together and get to know each other more. Because it might be something like you meet each other, it's like really crazy, there's a lot of people around, and then there's all these synchronicities, and you come together under different circumstances where it's more, things are more relaxed now, and you're under different circumstances now. Maybe they had to get out of a relationship, or you had to get out of a relationship, or some things had to change. But another meaning of this card is like, emotional stability and, emotional availability. So it's going to be at a time in your life where you feel like at peace, where you feel, able to give that kind of commitment to someone, and sort of, yeah, like everything is aligned, like the stars are aligned. So yeah, I feel like summertime for very many of you. All right, so now we're going to see how your person treats you. And we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is a very, very supportive person. They support all of your endeavors. I'm feeling like it's more like moral support, but if they had any concrete way to help you in your work, in pursuing your dreams, in, you know, finding your purpose, your path, your studies, whatever it may be, any way that they can help, they really want to. I'm feeling from this card that this person really wants like an involvement in your life. You know, no matter how busy you get or how many things you have going on, it's like they want to be a part of it and help in any way they can. So they're super like invested in you and what you're all about and what you're doing, and it's like they're cheering you on. It's very sweet. Okay, so moving on, let's see what you are going to like the most about this person. There's the Two of Wands. So I think that this is quite an open-minded person, because the meaning of this card is that like you have options. It's not like indecision or like you're torn between two things. It's a very optimistic way of having options. So this is probably somebody who can see like both sides of the story. They can see different perspectives. Maybe they've traveled a lot, like they've had a lot of different experiences, so they're like, you know, cultured, they're open-minded, they're very accepting. And this could also be somebody like, you know, they have their, like the world is their oyster, you know, like they have a lot of opportunities. And so I think that there is a sort of like expansiveness, if that makes sense, that comes to this person, that you feel like being with them would enrich your life, would show you new ways of doing things, and just like more enjoyment in general, like experiencing new aspects of life. And let's see what you would like this person to work on. There's the Lovers card. Interesting. So this is about making decisions in relationships. So this person might be a little bit like, takes them a while to commit, or this might just be like an insecurity that you have, where you're wondering if they're really committed to you, and you know, it seems like they have options and they're open-minded, so maybe you're worried that they're gonna like, you know, go with someone else because they are so charming and friendly. Maybe like this is the type of person, you know, those people who like give off the vibe that they're flirting with you even though they're not. Maybe this is that kind of person, just because they are so friendly and so good with people, and maybe that kind of bothers you, like, why are you flirting with them even though they're not? Another thing that I'm getting from this, because this is what I saw, this card came out like in a personal reading that I did for someone yesterday, and it was this meaning, is that like maybe they kind of hang out with a questionable crowd. Because this isn't just about romantic relationships, this is about evaluating all of your relationships. And maybe that's the reason maybe that's the reason why you're kind of like absent or a little bit distant when it comes to their friends. Yeah, I wonder if this person, like, there's a few people in your life, you're like, I don't know why you hang out with them. Like, you're too friendly, you're too nice. You don't have to be nice to everybody. Yeah, maybe you kind of find that some of their friendships are superficial, and so, you know, you see that and you're like, well, if you have these superficial friendships, like, what does that say about your relationship with me? Like, is it something superficial too? And then you get kind of insecure. I think it's sort of like a mix of their sort of like charming, friendly nature and your insecurities put together, and it just creates a little bit of worry on your part. So I think you would just like them to be a little bit more discerning about who they share their charms with. I'll put it that way. I'm not saying they're unfaithful in any way, but it's just their like their nature, their disposition, the way they interact with people, I guess, and the type of people they let into their life. And yeah, anyway. So let's move on to the flip side of it. So what do they like the most about you? Ooh, the Two of Pentacles. So I think that you're a very well-rounded person, and you, like we saw, like you feel very stable to them, and I think that they like that, especially because they do have more of like a social butterfly, kind of up in the air, like an airy nature to them, let's say, and you have a more grounded energy. I think that they feel grounded when they're with you, and they feel secure. So I think they really like that about you. And they like that you, when I say well-rounded, it's like, you know, you have your job, you have your family, you have your friends, like you have all your ducks in a row, and you balance them very well. And I think that that's something that they probably aspire to be, and that's probably why, like, they want to involve themselves in it so much, because they just love the way that you live your life. They love the way that you keep things in order, like you have your priorities straight, you have your goals, and they love to watch you like in the mix, you know. Like they love to watch you killing it and succeeding and living your life. I think you're like a very nice, almost like a role model for them. Interesting. Okay. So what would they like you to work on? That's our last card. Death. So this card is making me think of being hard on yourself, because we have, in this deck specifically, we have this person crying, and so, you know, the death card is about transformation. It's about, you know, letting go to give birth to something new. But when it's in this deck specifically, and I see this person crying, it's like, I feel like it's like almost not self-destructive, but like maybe you push yourself too hard, or you're too ambitious and then you burn out. Like you try to do too much and then you burn out, or sometimes maybe you set like unrealistic goals for yourself, and so inevitably you can't do it and then you feel bad. I think they want you to be like a little bit nicer to yourself and just lighten up a little bit, because that's kind of what they're all about, right? Like they're very bright and cheerful and lovely, and so I think, you know, you're kind of like an opposites attract kind of thing, maybe. You seem to be the more like stable and serious one, and they seem to be the more like, well, I don't know what this motion means. Bubbly, sparkly, something like that, like a little butterfly. So it is a good balance, and I do think you can really balance each other out. That's kind of what the Temperance card means too. It's like counterparts balancing each other out. So I think that this is a partnership where you will teach each other a lot. It is definitely a fated partnership. You will learn to trust each other. You'll learn from your differences and how to like incorporate the other person's traits into your life and just create a very balanced and harmonious partnership. And you do make each other very, very happy, like I can see with this 10 of Cups. So I think all the difficulties that you encounter are like lessons that were planted there by your angels, to help you guys grow as individuals and as a couple. Yes. Okay. So what was that ending? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that's the end of reading number 3. If you are interested in a personal reading for more information specific to your situation, please check out the link in the description where you can see my availability, my pricing, all the different types of readings, how to book, all that jazz. And thank you very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye! Hi number 4s, so if you chose this Ace of Cups, I'm going to be using the Starman Tarot deck to do your reading. So I have 12 tarot cards here, and each one of them is going to represent different aspects of your relationship. And I do want to say, you know, obviously this is a very unique deck, like it's a very unusual deck, so this could be a sign that the next person coming into your life is kind of that eccentric type. They sort of walk off the beaten path. Maybe they have some unconventional beliefs. They could be quite a spiritual person or into those sort of occult or, you know, just not your everyday stuff. So I think they're quite an interesting and unique person. And I feel pretty calm. That may just be because I'm out of energy after reading the first three. But anyway, so let's get into it. The first thing we're gonna see is your first impression of this person. So how are you gonna see them when you initially meet them? Two of Cups. All right, this is like a love at first sight kind of thing. This is obviously the soulmates card, and especially on this deck, you can see how intimate this is. You can see how intertwined they are. So I think that, you know, as soon as you meet this person, like, you're gonna have this knowing that you want to be with them, or even that you are meant to be with them. I think when you first meet them, you're gonna find that it's really easy to talk to them and that you have quite a lot in common, and your conversation flows really well, really naturally. Sometimes when you first meet someone, it's like, and you're talking to them, there's a lot of like awkward pauses, or you don't really know what to talk about, so you're just talking about generic stuff. But I think with this person, it's like you both, like, you have the same interests, and very soon into your conversation you get into really like deep and meaningful topics. So you might actually get to know this person quite well, even just from the first impression, and you feel like very connected to them. So now let's see their first impression of you. The Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. So that's kind of funny, because on one hand, like on your hand, you're thinking like, oh my god, this is my soulmate, I'm gonna be with this person. They might not really think about that in the beginning. And the reason for that is because maybe you don't seem that interested to them. I don't know why that might be, because you clearly are very interested. And I don't mean that in a way of like you seem standoffish or distant or anything like that. I think maybe you give them more of like a friend vibe, that like you just want to be friends, or you give off a vibe that you're not really looking for a relationship or something like that. Because this is someone who is like, you know, self-sufficient, takes care of themselves, and I think that, you know, they think you're living your best life. That is actually their first impression of you, but they don't really pick up that kind of romantic vibe from you in the start, I think. It doesn't mean they're not interested. I think they very much are, but for some reason they can't like see that you are interested in them. Maybe they're just very like a clueless kind of person. So I'm thinking of like Aquarius, or I don't know, like Gemini, like their head's just in a million different places, and maybe they're just not picking up on your hints or something like that. But anyway, that's just their first impression. So anyway, let's see what you are going to think of them after you get to know them for a while. The Empress. Ooh. So yeah, as you get to know them, I think that your attraction for them is only going to deepen. This is a very beautiful person, so I think you're just going to be so charmed by them. And have you ever met somebody and like the more you get to know their personality, it's like they actually look more physically beautiful? I think that this is how you're going to perceive this person. Like, as you get to know them more, you see their kindness, and this is a card of unconditional love too. So I think you're gonna see that they're very generous, and they're very accepting of all kinds of people. They're very loving, and that's gonna make them appear more and more beautiful to you. And you're gonna want this person to be around for a very long time. And now let's see how they're going to feel about you after getting to know you. The Eight of Swords. This card came up in 3 of the readings out of 4. That's so weird. But each of them has kind of had a different meaning in each reading, because we're using different decks, and obviously the way they choose to depict the cards is different. And this deck is really cool. Like their, I guess, worldview? I don't know. But if you look at this person, it looks like those Russian dolls, where it's like there's you and you're inside here, and then there's like another you, a smaller you inside. And so what this is making me think is like, as they get to know you, they realize how deep you are and how complex you are, and there's so many layers to you. Like the more they get to know you, the more they realize that they don't know you. So it's like there's this air of mystery to you, and they know that like you're somebody who has a lot of depth. And I almost feel like they're gonna see something kind of mystical in you, you know? Because I'm looking at like these crows, and it seems very like occulty to me for some reason. So they feel like almost like there's this magic to you. And I do think that this person believes in that kind of stuff. Like I do think that they have a spiritual side to them, and they will feel that you're very tapped in. This could also be, you know, you listening to your inner guidance and shutting out outside influences, shutting out these crows. This is like all the haters that have something to say, or this is, you know, society in general. And it's like you keep your magic guarded, you keep your power guarded, you know? It's like this kind of thing. Okay, so now we're going to look at how your friends and family see this person. And there's the Queen of Wands. This card also came up in another reading. A lot of them have similar cards for some reason. So yeah, your friends and family love this person. They see them as very cheerful. They see them as like the life of the party. They see them as charming and funny. This is especially good if they're meeting your family. So like if you bring them back home like to meet your parents or something, they're just gonna like charm the pants off them. They're probably gonna make them laugh really hard, and this person knows how to have a conversation. I think they are quite they're not necessarily extroverted, but they're good with people. Like maybe they're just very interesting, so they can talk to anybody. They have a lot of interesting opinions, and so I think that like you're gonna have a very good time even if you hang out like in your group of friends. Like all your friends are gonna like them, because this is a very like bright and sunny disposition. So all around it's like good reviews for them. Okay, so now let's see how their friends and family are going to see you. There's the Hanged Man. Interesting. So we saw like you're somebody with a lot of depth. Maybe you're somebody who like peels back the layers kind of gradually. Maybe some people never get to see this, because this card is making me think with this like, you know, being left hanging or waiting, that is almost like you're so I don't know if mysterious is the right word, but it's like they don't know how to form an opinion of you, or maybe they feel like they're just seeing the surface of you and there's something deeper, and they just feel like, you know, if you're just meeting somebody and like hanging out every now and then, it's hard to really get to the core of them. So I think that it's almost like you're like leaving them in suspense, or you're leaving them waiting, and like they want to see like the real you. That's interesting. Maybe you just don't see them that much, so they don't get to know you that much. Or maybe you are, you know, kind of reserving your deep, powerful core for certain special people. So yeah, I think it's kind of hard for them to form an opinion. I'm sorry, I know that's not like much of an answer for you, but that's what I'm seeing with the Hanged Man. Okay, so next we're going to look at how you guys meet. And we have Justice. So I've also been looking at the timing, I should say. So Justice represents Libra season. That's September, October. And we have the number 11. That could be the month of November. So I think it's quite likely that you could meet this person in the fall time. It could also be like 11 months from whenever you're watching this. And I think that because you're holding like the heart and the brain, and you're the one who feels like the initial attraction first. I think you realize it first. So I think how you meet is that actually you make the first move. Like you see them and you go up and talk to them. Okay, so next we're going to see how this person treats you. And we have the Three of Cups. So this person is going to be very fun and cheerful with you. They want to show you new experiences. They may take you out on like really fun dates, take you to parties, because this is kind of a playful energy. And I think with this person, like, of course you are a couple, like you're in a romantic relationship, but I think that first and foremost, like, it feels like a friendship, you know, like they're always very kind to you. I don't see them getting like jealous or controlling or like expecting you to like behave a certain way or treat them a certain way. I think that they give you a lot of freedom, and like they're just happy that you're there, you know, like they're just happy to have you in their life, and they're happy to see you do your thing. And like we saw that, you know, from the get-go, they feel like, wow, this person's living their best life. I really like that. And so they don't want to like intrude on your style or like your way of doing things at all. So you know, I think this person's quite flexible, and they just want to experience life with you. They just want to have fun, and it's very low stress and low pressure. So I think that that's quite nice, and it can be, you know, it can be a relief. Yeah. So, okay, we're moving into the last part now. So we're going to see, what do you like the most about this person? What about them are you going to like the most? So there's the Seven of Cups. This also came out in another reading. This makes me think of their imagination, of their ability to, you know, conceptualize and talk about many different things. There's always something new with them. And, you know, they have like, this makes me think about like variety and having many different things going on with all the different cups. And there's like an element of fantasy. So I think that this person has interests in many different areas and can talk about so many different things, whether it's spiritual, whether it's about politics, whether it's about improving yourself, whether it's just about some like dumb small talk. It's just like, it's so interesting, and they have so many facets to them. So it's like a joy to keep getting to know them. And I think you both feel this way about each other. It's like no matter how long you know each other, you keep uncovering these like little nuggets, these little things about each other. And wow, you have that side to you too. Like you have that experience too. And it's just, it's so interesting. So I think there's like really like, you will not get bored of this person. And they always have something to share with you or something to talk about with you. And I also think like if you are a spiritual person, which I think that you probably are if you're watching this, they're very receptive to that part of you. So they validate it and they add to it and they share their own spiritual experiences too. And it's very nice to be seen and heard in that way, especially with something like that that not everybody like gets or that not everybody resonates with. So you guys vibe together really well. And so let's see what you would like this person to work on. The Sun. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that they're happy all the time, or they come off as cheerful all the time. And I know like that doesn't really sound like a bad thing, right? Like we saw how charming they are, how, you know, you don't get bored of them when you're talking to them, that they're always having fun with you, and that's great. But, you know, everybody has bad days sometimes. Everybody gets annoyed sometimes, or angry, or disappointed. And when you're always like this big, bright sun, it can bother you. Like, for example, let's say you're feeling sad one day, like something shitty happened to you and you just want to be sad. And you go up to this person, your partner, and you tell them what happened. Like, I had a really shit day, like this person did this to me, or I don't know, something went wrong. Don't you want them to be upset with you just for a minute? Like, I understand that is really shitty, that sucks, I'm sorry. You know, we want people to like empathize with that. Or like, if you had a date planned and you're really excited about it and then suddenly you can't go anymore, and you tell them and they're just like, oh, that's fine, don't worry. No, be upset. You can't see me. You know what I mean? It can just come off as a little bit like, don't you care if they're always like bright and happy? It can seem like either you don't care when something bad happens or you're just being kind of fake. And you know, I think people who are like this, because I have met people like this, they've just been through a lot of negative stuff, and maybe it's sort of like a defense mechanism for them. Like, oh, this doesn't upset me. I'm not sad. I'm positive. Like they're kind of like bypassing it. So maybe this person has kind of like a dark past, or they've just been through a lot of sad things and this is their way of dealing with it. And so I think that you want them to learn, like, it's okay to be upset sometimes. And in fact, like, it can show that you care, you know, if you get upset. So yeah, just imagine like a huge burning ball of fire all the time in your face. It's like, please relax, sir. Anyway, okay, so now let's flip it around and see what they like the most about you. We have the Lovers card. Look at this. This Lovers card in this deck is very raunchy. Kino doesn't do raunchy, so we're just gonna gloss over that, and we're gonna say that they like your passion, they like your sensual side, they like your romantic side. I see some honey and I see bees, so it's like they get to experience a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of sting from you. They have like, you're multifaceted too. You give them many different experiences, okay? They like the passion. Okay, and so for the last card, this is going to be what they would like you to work on. And so we have the Two of Pentacles here. So I think this is something more that they want you to work on for yourself so that you can be happier and have more peace of mind, rather than something that they're like, I don't like this, you need to change this. Because this is about you like finding balance in your life and finding stability. Like, look at this dude. It looks like he's surfing. he's balancing on some discs and he's holding the... This deck is so cool. I really like the artwork on it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're unstable, but maybe you're struggling to find that like in your life, you know, maybe to come to a place where you're financially stable, you have your goals lined up, you're prioritizing what you need to be prioritizing, you have a routine in place and like a schedule. And maybe it's kind of weird to hear that from this person because they seem to be very like eclectic. I don't even know if that's the right word. But they do have that grounded side to them, and they just want to see you thriving, right? So they want to make sure that you find a good balance in your life, and that, you know, for example, you balance your deep and spiritual side with your more realistic and grounded side. They really want to see you find that stability. Yeah. So it's sweet, you know, like they do come off as very like, you know, lighthearted and cheerful all the time, but which is great. I like phrased that as if it was something bad. But it doesn't mean that they're like, that they don't care or that they don't have a serious side to them that wants to see you succeed. You know, they do care very deeply for you, just in a more like free way, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's the end of reading number 4. If you're interested in a personal reading for more information specific to your situation, please check out the link in the description where you can see my availability, my pricing, all the different kinds of readings and how to book them. Thank you very much for letting me read for you. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!